Hi guys, this is Tony here from Metal Roos. You're about to sit down and enjoy an interview I just did um, over there, and so do like and subscribe so you can get all this straight into your streaming and into your consciousness as soon as it arrives. So enjoy the interview, and I will. Over to you, Tony. Thanks for coming on to Metal Roos and chatting with us, Matty from Dirty Pagans. Wow.
Thank you very much for having me.
Oh, look, it's a pleasure. You've got your album launch coming really soon, 28th of June, but the album comes out 27th of June, doesn't it?
Yes, so we'll be dropping that one nice, well, a couple of hours early, I suppose, for
Yeah.
everyone to try and get their head around it.
Yeah.
But yes, we'll be dropping that, and we're very excited to be dropping it.
Yeah, because it's a bit of a labor of love. Because it's how long have you been working on it now?
Yeah, so we'd been working on it for a while. We actually had it ready last year, but when Jared left the band, we had to find a new drummer.
Yeah.
And that kind of delayed it for a year. Had to get Gareth up to speed. He slotted in perfectly, so we're ready to roll and drop it now.
Nice. Nice. Because you've been touring the album or the music when you went round with Glenn Hughes last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, so we were really like pretty much ready to go last year. So the Glenn
Yeah.
Hughes tour was awesome timing for us, so we could actually kind of road test the songs as well. So
Brilliant.
it worked out very nicely.
How did you find going around with such a legend like Glenn? Was it fun to do?
Oh, it's awesome. It's just like everything, like when you're 13 and you pick up a guitar and you're listening to all these guys, and then all of a sudden you're sharing a stage with it. It doesn't really get that much better, does it?
No,
So
no, I must admit, I have to say, envious slightly on that. On that. Well, I can talk to people, but playing it on a tour with someone like that, that's special, particularly in your home country as well, you know.
yeah, absolutely. And with Australia, it's very large, but it's there's usually only like maybe a handful of tour dates, so it's maybe five. So it's
Mm.
bang, 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 usually very quick. And my bandmates definitely got to enjoy watching me sweat when we got onto small aircraft. So they loved that part of it as well.
Yeah, I must admit, there is that. At least it wasn't a helicopter.
Exactly. Mate, if it was a helicopter, I'd be going. I'm not getting on that. I'll
Yeah,
meet you.
oh,
I'll meet you at the next tour.
yeah, you'll be on a train. I'll see you in about 4 days.
Exactly.
So it's a brilliant album. I got to listen to it a couple of times over the last couple of days, and I hadn't really. I mean, so many bands. I get your head around things. I'd listened to previous stuff. I've listened to The Family,
hmm
and I thought, okay, well, this will be interesting. And I reckon this seems a lot more sophisticated in its
Yeah.
production. Is it? Did you have more time to do it, or was it a,
Yeah.
a different producer?
We went with the same guy, Andy,
Hmm.
Andy Carr. But I think just honestly, there's playing live is a skill, and also being in the studio is a skill. And special, I can't speak for the other members of the band, but for me, I think I'm still quite green in the studio. But you do learn every time you go in the studio. So there
Hmm.
was a few trades this time around. We knew what we needed to do. So I think every time you get in there, the more you're in there, the more familiar you are with it, and more confident you get, I suppose.
Yeah, and it does come across that way, mate. It really does. It
Yeah.
it, it feels grown up in a way that sounds weird to me when I say that because Family and then Volume One. I mean, they're still great product, but this
Yeah.
feels like almost international.
Yeah. Awesome.
It
That's great.
Yeah, it feels like if you put it on because I listened to it and I obviously you have your influences. I was listening and thinking, God, it sounds like Sword. I'm hearing Sword, and and I don't mean that to be your derivative of copying. It's just it's a good thing to
Not at all.
no, I hear it and I go, geez, that's takes you back. It's such a good, heavy, classic riffing album.
Yeah. Oh, like I wear my influences on my sleeve. Like I'm not
Mm.
embarrassed to be like I love Sabbath. I love like the Sword. We were supposed to play with the Sword, and then they broke up. Like
Oh
we were
no!
really yeah. So we were really excited to play with those guys. Like those kind of bands. Like I'm like I don't sit there and everyone goes, "Oh, you have like Iommi signature guitar." Well, actually, I'm into classical music. No, like I like Black Sabbath,
Yes,
and it's
yeah,
pretty obvious that I like Sabbath.
yeah. It is obvious, and but that's what's beautiful about it. Is
Yeah.
that you don't go in there and go, I'm going to hide my influences under this, you know, million notes going on over here, and then
Yeah.
pretend, like you said, you go there and you play with your hearts on your sleeves. I mean, Forever High that comes out, as I said, too soon is, it's a killer album, and from beginning to end, it's real headbanger, which is something
Awesome.
you don't get much any these days, Matty. You don't get them. They're all too
Oh, well, thank you very
technical.
much. That's very appreciated.
Big riffs, man. Really big riffs.
Oh,
Like
thank you very much.
they're meaty.
Yeah, that's it. Like, and that's the beauty of our band, I think, is that like I'm very meat and potatoes. I'm not the most skilled guitarist. I'd never claim to be, never will be. And then we've got Greg, who's just awesome at guitar. He can figure things out. He has just a different mind and mentality around the fretboard than I do. But then he makes my ideas better. And then there's James, who's completely different. And then he's bringing his proggy riffs.
Yeah.
It's just awesome.
It is. It's a great melange. That's a horrible word, but it is a great mix
Excellent
of
word.
yeah. um, and also I love the vocals on this album.
Thank you.
Again, it feels a slight different vocal feel than the last album. I mean, it's still the
Oh, yeah.
same, but it feels slightly different.
The beauty of it is being in my mid 30s and my balls never dropping. So the high notes, the high notes are still there.
Yeah,
But
because you hit them, man. You hit them.
yeah, so always love doing that. Rob Halford, obviously, like
Mm.
an influence on me. But just trying to get into those lower, more powerful notes as well. So yeah,
Well, that's what I liked about this album is I was going as you go through it, you're never quite sure what's going to happen. You're listening to a track
yeah,
and suddenly you're like, "Wah!" Up here, and then you're back down there, and it's like this is a roller coaster, um,
yes,
which I appreciate because I love Rob Halford, but I don't always want up here. You
yes,
do
exactly.
you need that wave.
And that's like when we had songs like Edge of Glory, where I'm essentially in a painkiller kind of
Yes.
level of high. And then we go into something. I think everyone, especially we used to open sets with that, everyone expected me to sing the set the whole way. And
Mm.
then we'd come into some lower stuff and they're like, oh, geez, okay. I'm trying to, it's not undirected, but it's more just hoping to give something for everyone, I suppose.
Well, it does. It does do that because, again, like I said, I think you need texture, you need light and dark shading and things in albums
Yes.
and art, and we all love those falsetto bands. But there's a point where you go, oh, "Can I just have some low C now? Or can
Yeah.
you come down here and like, do I have to have that all the time?" And that's what's great about yours. Like I was listening to Dump. I had to say this, Dump Truck Mama, right?
That's a James Russo special, my friend.
I
He
had to.
introduces that song every time saying this one's for the ladies with a bit of cake in the back, and it gets everyone moving. Everyone loves it. That's gonna be
Oh,
the
I had to take a double take. I was like, what? Like, okay, yeah, there we go.
nothing like going from Charles Manson to
Yes,
the streets of 70s New York with the grime and slime and then booty. So
booty, exactly. But that's what's brilliant about I think the Australian scene in general. Is that
mm,
we over here. I mean, particularly, I mean, very difficult to put you in a box. I hate boxes. I said it before and I say it again. Boxes are a music production like construct, right? But
mm,
so like, where are you? You go, are you doom? Are you trad? Are you heavy rock? You can never
mhm.
quite tell with you guys what mood you're in from one track to the next.
I think we are a little bipolar in our musical endeavors, but I think again it gives something for everyone. Where I don't particularly want to be in one zone, and I know the rest of the guys don't want to be either. So it's just we play what we feel and we put it out there, and if they like it, hopefully they like it.
Well, that's right, because you look at your artwork and you look at your logo and you go, oh, they look. I reckon they're going to be like some really slow, heavy stoner doom band, and then you put it
Mm.
on and it's like, no, it's not. This is completely the opposite.
Look tough, but with the old high vocals. That's
Yeah,
what it
yeah.
is.
I don't know. I mean, how'd you get through a set? It must kill your voice.
It weirdly doesn't. I think because one, we started the band when I was in my mid 20s,
Mm.
and I also lived interstate. So the band wasn't playing as many shows for 3 years.
Mm.
So I'm not constantly singing like, those 70s singers that were on the road for 20 years.
Mm.
So I think if I probably was on that kind of track, yeah, I probably wouldn't be able to speak to you right now. But no, it's not hurting. So
That's
fingers crossed
good,
it stays.
man. That's good. More that means there's gonna be more coming then. That's
Yeah, absolutely.
um
We're already starting the new album. So
oh really?
already,
Oh, I love
yeah,
it.
new music's already started.
I love it when people are constantly working like that. It's such a lovely thing. You hear bands that go, oh, it's 5 years in between. You're like, oh,
Mm.
if you just made a great album like this, it'd be great to get another one. You know?
And that's it.
And
You got to like kind of strike when the iron's hot.
oh yeah, yeah. And speaking of great albums and great line music, I mean the lineup you've got for your album launch in Adelaide is crazy. You've got
Yes.
Snake, you've got is it Snake Lords? Yeah.
Snake White Whiskey.
Say Bites Whiskey, sorry, not Snake Lords. And then you've
That's
got
all right.
Rocky's Pride and Joy, which I don't know them.
They're excellent. Check them out.
Yeah, and the Coogis I do know. So I'm going to look up for the
Yes.
Rocky's Pride and Joy. It's not a name I would look at. It's weird. You go, oh, what? Sounds like a blues
It's
band.
very sounds like a Rocky movie.
Yeah, yeah, it does,
Another
doesn't
part to it.
it?
No, but
No.
they're excellent. Awesome band. Awesome, awesome, awesome. They're probably a bit more slower and doomier than us,
Mm.
but they bring it, and they're awesome guys too. So we're very excited to play with them.
People, your side of the world makes great music, man. Adelaide has a great scene. I'm so
Mm.
impressed with what's coming out of there at the moment. I talk to a lot of bands from that part of the world, and
Yeah.
it's like it just seems to be one classic, one after another. It's a great little community you've got
Oh
playing
yeah,
over
we got
there.
like Emergency Rule and Kitchen Witch bands like that.
Oh
Like
yeah,
they're just it is. It's a little bit of a diamond in the rough area. So it is a lot of fun when we all get together and play shows.
brilliant. I mean, with this, obviously, this album it's going to come out very soon, and you're gonna
Mhm.
tour it. Hopefully, you're gonna tour it. Um,
Yep.
are you getting any nibbles from overseas about it? Are you gonna play overseas at all?
Yeah, so we have had a kind of a few interviews about talking about that kind of stuff. Next year we're looking to go overseas. Um, Nothing locked in yet, so don't get everyone's hopes up too high. But we definitely want to be touring overseas and getting over there. So we're very excited to do that.
I reckon the Americans will love you, man. This kind of sound is so on point with them at the moment. Like, I reckon you'd
Yeah,
really get some decent audience numbers in the States, and in Europe
fingers
particularly.
crossed.
Yeah, yeah, I reckon you'd be a good festival band.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
Because one of those bands where people don't know, but suddenly walk away going, "Oh, I've got to buy their records." They'll be going buy
Oh,
their
and that's what I love.
t-shirts. Yeah,
I love that. It's like you have to prove yourself.
yeah, yeah. I didn't know
You
who
can't just
Sword
walk
was.
out.
Never heard of the Sword till I saw him at Soundwave. To be honest with you, and then I walked out. I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh my God, I have to get everything."
Oh, that was like me with Uncle Acid and the Deadbeats for Soundwave all those years ago.
Yes, I
I
was
just
there.
randomly showed up
I
and
was there.
it blew. That's essentially that band made me start Dirty Pagans. That was it. That was a
Really?
turning point.
Oh,
Yeah, that was
brilliant.
it.
Because I think they were on just after the Stiff Little Fingers, I think, or something like that. And I remember
Yeah.
going to see the Stiffs and going, "Oh, what am I going to do now?" Because I love the Stiffs. And I looked over and they were
Yep.
just tuning up on that stage. And I went, "Oh,
Yeah.
I'll wander over." And I don't know this band. And it was like,
Yeah. It was
fantastic.
a very it was a mind little changing moment for me as well. So
Yeah. Because I mean, you obviously, like you said, you wear your influence on your sleeve, Sabbath and
yeah.
Sword and things like that. What if you were going to pick an Aussie band that was apart from the obvious? What would you say was your favorite Aussie? I've never asked this question before. It's the first time I've asked it to someone. So there we go.
That's all right. I am a psycho Rose Tattoo fan.
Oh yeah, I can
I
hear it. Yeah.
love I am a psycho for them. I think it's the band I've seen most. I've seen them interstate. I saw them recently. It was like held at a bar called the Emu down south where I grew up,
Yeah.
and it's a rough bar. It's
Yeah.
quite a rough bar,
Love
and I
it.
love it. And
Love
that's
it.
what I like about it. And just their angry man, fucking the man. Like I love it, man. Ronnie Simmons, who like I used to play with in like when he was in Lust and I was in Generation Swine in our hair
Yeah.
metal days. He's now a guitarist of Rose Tattoo. It's
Oh,
awesome.
do you know, I keep missing them every time. Like they were going to
Go see
play in
them.
Queanbeyan near me in Canberra, and it
Yep.
just turned they cancelled for some reason. I think Angry got ill or something happened.
Yep.
But every time I get a ticket, I miss it. So I'm just going to rock up next time. I'm just going to not buy a ticket in
God,
advance and rock up.
I love it. I just absolutely, I listen to them probably an ungodly amount. If I met
Oh,
Anger, I think he freaked out about how much of a fanboy I was. So I'd be like, oh
do you know?
God.
But isn't that what rock and roll is about, right, Matty? You know,
Mm,
like you said, that little club, the Emu Club. Like I love those little black, dark, cavernous, sticky floors,
yeah,
alcohol, sweat, denim.
yeah,
It's what keeps us alive.
absolutely.
And I
It's
I fear that they'll go one day. I do fear that that sort of thing will
yeah.
disappear,
Oh, look, so many bars here are closing, and it's sad.
isn't it?
And it's just like I'm kind of like I guess privileged that I got to like kind of cut my teeth in those bars while they were still here. 'Cause so
Mm,
many of them, just even from when I started, have closed. They're all gone.
yeah. You can't even blame COVID anymore.
No,
It's just the music industry in general.
yeah,
I was talking to a good friend of mine the other day. It's like, name me more than four bands in the charts that you can think of. They're not.
I wouldn't even
It's
better
all
tell
no,
you
no, I
who
couldn't
half
even
these
do
are.
three.
Yeah,
They're
I
all
wouldn't better
it's
tell
all solos, isn't it? It's all R&B
you. Yeah,
solos. So
I would not be able to. I wouldn't know what is the main hit on radio.
no, but that's what bands like you are very important for. That's why we
Mm.
love you so much. Is that
No, thank you.
no, genuinely, because
Mm.
you keep that dirty guitar, that Gibson slinging, whiskey chucking feel.
That's
You know
it.
what I mean?
Yeah,
It's rock and roll is dirty and dangerous. It's not meant to be nice and friendly, right?
absolutely,
No, it isn't, is it? Right? You didn't grow up and be a
absolutely.
rock star thinking, "Oh yeah, I might just drink some nice Chardonnay and sit in a." No,
Nice boys don't play rock and roll. Roast
that's
tattoo
right.
again.
That's
Like
right.
it's essentially when I heard that, I was like, cool.
Yeah, absolutely. You could tell
It doesn't mean
Bonds.
you don't get to
Yeah.
walk around being an arrogant dickhead.
No,
Like
yeah.
you
Well, you
can
know what I mean, though,
be
right?
nice to people.
Yeah, but Bon Scott's not wasn't going to go. Oh, do you know what? I think I'll just have I'll have a salad and some quiet time. He was
Exactly.
going off. He's going off. Like
Exactly. And like when you're on stage, no one wants to see the guy next door. Like
no.
you got to put on a bit of a character, and then that's what I love. Like, but when I get the thing that I think is good getting older is knowing you don't have to be that character off stage, and
Yes.
you can still have a normal conversation with people. And I think when you see all the bands that we love, they got probably thrown into the spotlight when they were 18, and that
Mm,
must have been so difficult.
mm.
But they've
Yeah.
now billionaires, so
Yeah.
I'm sure they
Well, that's
figured it
right.
out.
Well, yeah, that's right. But I mean, the thing is, like, you're correct. I don't want to go to a show and watch four guys in white shirts and denim jeans going. I
Yep.
want spectacle. I want running around, slipping over, sweat everywhere, hair flying, guitar.
Mm,
That's what you pay for. That's what you go for. It's the energy.
absolutely.
You're not going to get it out of, just.
No,
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
there's a place for that if you like that. I'm not going to say it's not, but it's just like why,
Exactly. If
what?
you went to a Dirty Pagan show and you just saw me standing there, you'd be like, something's wrong with Matt tonight. What's going on?
Yeah, yeah, what's
So
happened is he slipped a disc.
he's met Angry Anderson and he has been a fanboy and now he's embarrassed himself. So he's
Yeah,
been
that's
quiet
right.
on
Angry's in the bar and
stage.
he's got starstruck.
Angry's just going like, what
Fuck is
the
he doing? Oh,
fuck?
oh dear. Because I grew up in the UK, and Rose Tattoo was something I'd only ever sort of heard of. I'd never
Yeah.
really seen them until my wife's a big fan. It wasn't until we came
Mhm.
over. I came over. She's Australian. That was like, oh, now I understand. Now I
Yeah.
understand what people were saying. I get it completely. You
Yeah.
know. And my wife kept saying, "Yeah, you got to understand. This guy's great." I'm like, I don't understand. I don't get it. I put the record on. I was like, yeah, yeah, all right.
Yeah.
I sort of get this shit.
Once you hear it and you get it, you're in the club, so it's all
Yeah,
good.
oh mate, absolutely. I mean, again, the album is brilliant from beginning to end. I loved Blood and Babylon. Just the one song I put underlined in red pen because it was my favorite is "I Am the One." I did love,
Oh, beautiful.
I did love Dumpster. I'm going to say that purely because it was just a
Yes.
nice. It was a nice break. It was a nice change of
Yes.
energy.
James will love that. He wrote that, so
What is
I'll let Jimmy know.
what's the story behind Marana?
Miranda, that's a James song as well. Well, he hasn't really told me the backstory to be honest with that one.
Because I couldn't
I
get my
think
head
it's
around it a bit. I was like,
yeah.
what? Yeah.
No, that's a James one. I think he was. Oh, I don't want to speak for James, to
Yeah.
be honest with this.
We'll say we
Always
don't
speak
know yet at the moment.
exactly. We're like, it's an underlining hit so far, so
Yeah,
we'll leave it with you
it is a
both.
great it is a great track. I mean, but then right
Yeah,
after it, Big City Dead in the Eyes,
yeah,
is like it reminds me a bit of punk. It's got a bit punkiness to it, which I really liked.
yeah. That was a song that I'd come up with a riff with, and it was very quickly made, and we needed a break. And then Greg came up with all the jangly bits. It was a bit of a
Yeah.
thrown together one, to be honest with you, but it worked.
I think that's why I like it because it's got this sort of jangly bit in it, like you said, and it's like, oh,
Mm.
this sounds like a bit like the church, or this has got this in it. And
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
like,
absolutely.
I quite like this. It's a real Aussie kind of sound, that
Oh, beautiful.
jangliness. You know,
Yeah.
oh, I was chatting with some bands earlier, the Aussie bands, and I'm talking about that jangly sound that we seem to make here. That every now and again
Mm.
you get it thrown in, and you go, yeah, that's an Australian signature. I can hear that, like,
Yeah,
you know.
absolutely.
But I mean, it's a yeah, Killer in the Night, brilliant. Forever High, the title track, loved it.
Beautiful.
Yeah, but again, I loved Blood and Babylon because it just got a great vocal in it.
Oh, excellent. Thank you.
I don't want to say it because you're here, but it's the truth.
Oh, no, that's, I'll take the compliment.
Take
Thank
it,
you.
take it. Oh no, great. So I mean, obviously the album's going to come out. It's going to do so well. What label are you on?
We're not. So
You're not. Is
depending
it
on what,
self-labeled? Is it
yeah, we're
self-released?
self-labeled.
But what?
Yep.
That's a
So,
brilliant production for a self-funded album.
oh, well, thank you.
I would have gone.
Hopefully,
I
some
would have
other
gone.
people agree with you out there.
Yeah, I would have gone. Oh, transcending something or one of those other sort of, niche independent record labels. But I thought, no, that's really cool. That you won't.
Oh, yeah.
You'll be picked up with it. Somebody have to be mad not to pick you up.
Fingers crossed, my
That'd
brother.
be
Fingers
nuts.
crossed.
That'd be nuts on the back of that album. Like,
Hopefully.
but even then, I mean, even the family was a great. It's a great album.
Yes. It was a
Mm,
nice album. I think we're cutting our teeth still.
mm,
And I think this album, yeah, as you said, is mature. And
yes.
the next one, I'm hoping we blow everyone out the water.
I think you will with this, and I think that on the back of this, you're going to make so much more. I mean, I love the way that you cheekily named your EP Volume One. I
I remember telling people that, and there was a few Sabbath fans like, "You can't do that," and then I was like, I just get to dig my heels in even more."
loved it. I got it. I saw straight into it, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, yeah, that's great." Are
Hey,
you?
brother, I'm not here to reinvent the wheel. I'm just a spoke on it.
Yeah,
That's all.
that wonderful, wonderful way to look at it. Are you?
Yeah.
Do you ever chuck in like a Sabbath cover when you're doing live stuff?
Yeah, we used to do Supernaut a few
Oh,
years ago. Yeah, yeah. So we used to do
oh.
that a while back. Maybe we'll bring that back.
You should, because I reckon that sort of at the end, be just a great way of finishing the set. It's like super not,
Ah,
isn't
it's
it?
very fun to play, so I'd happily play it again.
I'm sure you would. I'm sure you've seen
Yeah.
Sabbath live. We've all had one of those moments. I
Yes,
remember.
I have.
I remember saw last time I very saw the very last show they did in Australia. I was there, and they
Yep.
played "Dirty Woman" at the end. That's my favorite "Dirty
Yep.
Women," and I cried. I
Oh, really?
literally cried when he finished playing on his white Strat, and
Mhm.
then he walked out. I was like, I'm never going to see Black Sabbath ever again. And I just had this own urging. I was writing the gods, like way out in the
Yeah.
freaking, and I just bawled. My wife's there, my best friend's there, and they're going, "You're right." I'm like, "Oh my god!" It's like I was
No, man.
really upset.
It can be
By
like
it.
a come in the church moment, live music. See,
God,
whenever I
yeah.
go see Cold Chisel and stuff, it's just like it's like going to church for me. I'm like, this
Oh
is like
my
all the
god.
music like I was raised on and stuff. Like
Yeah.
I love it.
My very first gig ever, I was Black Sabbath when I was
Yeah.
16. So,
Oh, that's
like
awesome.
I know it was a Tony Martin era, and I love Tony Martin. So,
Oh, so
um,
I've because they re-released those ones. I actually
I
hadn't sit down and listened to them, and I've just gone through all of them. And it's so
they're brilliant.
hits,
Yep,
hits.
hits. I still say that Headless Cross is my favorite
Oh, such an
non-Aussie
album.
album. And people go,
Yeah,
"Oh no, it can't be Heaven and Hell." So, no, I actually love this album because I was 16 when it
yeah.
came out, and I played that till it went thin. Like it was
See,
played
I'm a
till it was
huge
thin.
born again. I'm a huge born again fan as well. I like the Gillen year.
Oh, don't
So
get me wrong,
I don't
that's
even know if
great.
it's a year.
No, no, it's not. It's a moment, right? It's a
Yeah,
Gillen
it's a
moment,
moment.
right?
That's perfect.
What a strange conversation that was. When you get a new singer,
Mm.
what about Ian Gillan? He's not doing anything at the moment. Like,
I think they make that over like a very, very big weekend of drinking, and
yes,
then
they were
he kind of
very
woke up and
high.
was like, "Oh,
Yes.
we're actually doing this."
Yeah. And you know what? Look, it's one of those albums. I like all. I mean, you just could put Sabbath on the label. I'm going to listen. I don't
Yeah.
really care, to be honest. I do love different genres of Sabbath, like you would. But there was
Mhm.
just, there were times when you just go, I want to listen to the ones that no one else is playing. Like, when Maiden
Yeah.
come, when they had the two Maiden albums that no one listened to, and like everyone was, when Blaze came in. It's the same with
Yeah.
Sabbath. I just go, don't treat it like that. Let's have a listen because it's fucking
Yeah.
Tony Iommi for God's sake. Like
Exactly.
it's
I
God, isn't it? So why don't we just listen?
exactly. I was like, "Is there anything he's done bad?" Because I
I
don't know
don't think he
about
has. Even that terrible Iommi solo album, but um,
it.
Lone
Yes,
Star,
that.
whatever it is.
Yes, that's it.
Even
Yeah, I'll
that.
give that another listen. That's
Yeah,
all.
even that you should do,
Give it
even
another
if you
shot.
could, if you can find it.
That's it. True.
Yeah, we're off track, but I just want to say that's what makes me talking to you makes me feel. I feel like talking about Sabbath because your music just reminds me
Oh,
of that
excellent.
kind of joyous rock and roll, that dirty,
Yeah.
innocent in a way. When I mean it's not overproduced. You're
Yes.
not layering 19 guitars. You're not putting a Steve Vai thing on it. It
We
feels
want the
like
natural
you.
sound of the actual
Yeah, it
guitar.
feels like it comes straight off out of the club. You've
Yeah.
played it. I mean, when you recorded, did you record it together as in one studio, or did you record it separately?
We've done that, but no, the past two albums we've recorded our sections separately.
Yeah, because it doesn't sound that way. Like, 'cause sometimes you can hear it. You can almost hear
Yeah.
the sort of coldness of
Yeah.
the album. This sounds like you're all in one room.
Yeah, we're definitely, I think because we are a live band, I think
Mm,
when we've been recording, most people are wanting to get that sound out of us. So
yeah.
that's
Well,
understandable to hear that.
don't let go your producer, mate, because that's
Thank you.
that's a rocking sound on a and again on a lower budget, which of course
Yeah.
it's wonderful. It doesn't it I do I would say that if anyone listens to this album, and I'm really hoping they do after this, you won't put it on and go, cool, that sounds DIY. Although I like DIY, it doesn't
Mm.
sound DIY. It sounds polished and mature,
Yeah. Oh,
track
hopefully.
after track, right? And also it's beautifully well balanced in its lineup of tracks because that's always a tough one. Where'd you put this before that? Where'd you put, dumpster? Where'd you put that? Where'd you put that? And it's like, at least it's a single.
Well, I think we are. James is pushing it. So
Oh, it's so Australian. I love it. I genuinely love it. You wouldn't get it in the UK. You just don't. You don't get the kind of
Mm.
fun and frivolity. You don't get bands like, like you and there's like King Parrot, and you just don't get
Yeah.
those kind of fun bands
We do kind
anymore.
of, we're over here, we do blend humor quite a bit
Yeah,
with our music.
you do, and it's what makes it life. I love it.
Yeah.
It's time for seriousness. Then you do seriousness.
Yeah.
But there's also a moment where you just have like that dumpster. You have a wry smile to yourself, and you go,
Oh,
yeah, yeah, that's it. One for the lads. I
sometimes
like
when we're
that.
just rhyming stuff, I'm like, we can't do that. And they're like, oh, we'll do it. I'm like,
Yeah, of course you
yes.
can. Who says you can't?
Who says we can't?
Exactly. God, if John Lydon can write Anarchy with Antichrist, whatever it was, you can do that one. You can do whatever you
Absolutely.
want, right? Antichrist, Anarchist. That's what I was trying to say. Um, uh, I love the Pistols, but yeah, no, I think that we'll wrap it up here because I
Excellent.
obviously we've got other things to do, but I just want to say, love it. Thank you very much. It was a It's a cork. I love to chat with you. I love the glasses. I've got to say, I just love them. And I'm looking forward to seeing you live. Hopefully, you'll play this side of the country sometime soon.
Absolutely. We'll be
Mm,
over there soon. So come out and see us, and we'll be touring the Forever High album very shortly.
brilliant. Because I missed the Glenn Hughes tour because I was overseas. But
Yep.
did you play Canberra with Glenn? Because he was here, wasn't he?
Yes, we did. We
Yeah.
played the whole
See,
tours.
I bloody
Yep.
missed it. I was overseas, so it was like I got back and said, "You should have gone to the Glenn Hughes. It was amazing." I'm like, no, I wasn't here.
No, that's all right. We'll come back and we'll have a beer and we'll catch up and we'll talk some
Definitely,
Sabbath.
man. Oh, yes. But mind of all, this album, it's wonderful. So, can people buy physical copies of it? Is it available to be ordered
They can
physically?
pre-order it right now. They can
Yes.
pre-order it from Bandcamp,
Yep.
and then once the album launch drops, you will be able to buy it, and we will be sending them off the day after the album launch.
Oh, brilliant. Well, I will be grabbing my firm full vinyl copy. That'll be nice to part in the old collection, that one.
Beautiful, brother.
Yeah. And again, thanks for coming on. Thanks for giving me your time. I
That's
love a
all right.
light-hearted chat like this. I have to say, I enjoy a good chin wag, and
No,
it's
very easy chat. There, I appreciate you taking the time to interview me. So thank you.
oh, mate, more people should chat to you guys. More the merrier. Guess get you seen by more people. That's what I say.
Excellent.
All right.
I really appreciate it, man.
Pleasure,
Have
man.
a good one.
You too. Take it
Ciao.
easy.